The 835th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 835 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's a callback. I'm dedicating it once again to our man, Dalmar Fan, who reached out to us in our YouTube comments to thank us for our faith in him. Really, it was Gumby's faith in him, and we just all follow behind Gumby's. But thanks for checking out the show, or for at least checking out the episode that we talked about you on. So this goes out to Dalmar Fan. Why am I blanking on his nickname? He's got a good nickname. Street Buddha, Dalmar Fan. So we'll be talking about him more very, very soon. Well, not very soon. When's that was Gumby's voice just heard. I'm
August.
Supremo Simplicio. Jeff Fox. Yes, August, right. We shall be seeing more. July. We'll be seeing, yes, more of him in July. Oh, it's going to be a busy end of the summer for us. As Gumby said last episode, it's going to be lots of fun because we have the Contender Series coming back. Woohoo! Today is all about the UFC, though. The UFC is back, baby, which is where I shine. I feel like I have to remind people off the top because I sound dumb, I assume, most of the time, and I have a stroke most episodes and stuff. Just remind people I'm actually good at making picks. It just doesn't sound like I'm good. Gumby sounds much smarter, but the results... There's still plenty of time, Gumby, but
the results. Did I not win last year?
No. Remember, I ended up ahead. I ended up plus money last year somehow. First time
was
ever.
It the year before I was ahead?
Yeah, maybe the year before.
I won 23, you won 24. Right.
Yeah. I'm up 8 units this year, so I'm trying to make it. Last year, I did the impossible. I ended up money despite
taking every single money line. Yeah.
Every money line, $100. So this year I'm up as well. So just a disclaimer, because I look and sound dumber, but sometimes something's working here. Anyhow, with that out of the way,
now that I've prefaced with how dumb I look.
No, I prefaced. That was my backhand complimenting myself. So anyhow, we got UFC Fight Night, Bolaji versus Barber. A dream come true for my co-host. Finally, his girl is getting a shot in the main event. Right? We can talk more about that tomorrow. You don't really, unless you can't hold back and you want to talk about Macy right now.
No, I can.
You're good. You're good. UFC Apex. Surprisingly. My usually Gumby, I'm expecting him to pull off his mask and be Dana White underneath it. Ta-da! I was Dana White all along. Because he's so positive about these cards. You don't seem very positive about this one.
Yeah, the thing is about most of these cards is that I'm like, well, that's an intriguing matchup, or hey, there's a prospect I really love from Contender Series. And outside of like one guy from Contender Series, it's like a whole bunch of people who have lost recently, that they scrambled to put fights together. Like the one fight that I think is actually like pretty well match made, or one of the two that I think is well match made, was also thrown together like 9 days ago. And like it would be a fun fight if both guys were preparing for each other, but both guys were preparing for somebody else and suddenly had weird opponent switches that are like now complete style mix-ups. So it's like even the fights that I like have flaws to them this time, but we always say about these things, they don't have to be good fights to make money on them. So
that's true. Yeah,
let's make some money on them.
A lot of times these events are the funnest to watch too. Somehow, like, all right, we get good performances. It may not be meaningful, in the grand scheme of things, but we at least see some exciting fights. We've switched. I'm the good cop. You're the bad cop now.
Yeah, look at that.
And we switched on the screen too here. YouTube, we switched too. So
yeah, I realized that after we started recording that I was on the right side, and it's
bugging, isn't it?
Starting to bother me a little bit. But
I try not to look at us while we're talking because I'm a nerd. I'm looking in my spreadsheets. Push the glasses up my nose here. All right, thoughts on the prelim portion? I guess it's even crappier than the main card, then, right?
It's pretty poor. It's pretty poor. There's a good fight in there, but it's pretty bad. There's some guys who I was like, oh man, that dude's still in there, huh?
Yes.
They're giving him another shot.
Yeah. Is this them? As I mentioned, Contender Series is just around the corner. Is this them calling the herd? Yeah, right. Because they're putting a lot of people on losing streaks together, so they can cut at least one person.
Yeah.
That's probably
maybe both.
Right?
Maybe both.
Yeah. They have done that. They've let people go on. They've let contracts expire on wins too. So, there's not really a middle class in the UFC. Not really. It's the top shelf people and the maybe like real life too. Top shelf people, and then the cheap people that they get on the fly. All right. With all that said, hopefully you're still tuned in because, like Gumby said, we're gonna make money anyhow on this here card, and we're gonna have fun doing it. And maybe I'll have a stroke while I'm talking. It'll be a good time for all. All right. Before we dive into things, let me tell you, the SGP guys are going to be ripping the packs live on air next Monday night. That'll be Rayanne and Sean, the bosses. They'll be breaking a case of Panini Prisms with DAPS. That's a person, I assume. You can get 10%. I'm old. I don't know these things. You can get 10% off your favorite team with promo code SGPN. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/break to get in on the action. I assume you can't help either because you're kind of getting old too, Gumby.
I'm getting old. I don't know who DAPS is, though.
I know what breaking packs means. We didn't call it
a
kid. Opening baseball card packs or whatever sport. We didn't call it breaking packs, but I've broken many a pack in my day. Let me tell you. Let's tell you about UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. A legitimate main event, a legitimate co-main event too, right? Other than that, then there's
the third fight from the top's good.
Yeah,
it was just one hastily put together.
The women's bantamweight fight makes sense. It's women's bantamweight, so it's not amazing, but it makes sense. So it's not. I'm surprised. This is the card that Gumby's down on, and I'm thinking it makes sense at least. So it's Saturday as per usual, 6 p.m. Eastern start time, ESPN Plus, at the old Apex. Minus Jamal Hill. When's the last time we saw him there? It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Is he still training in Vegas? What's going on with that?
The joke might kind of be running its course.
I think
show up again soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Or I'm going to need new material, and I'm not big on new material. All right, we're starting off with a female fight. We're ending with a female fight tomorrow. We're starting with a female fight today. Rayanne dos Santos from Brazil. Ellis Ardelean from Romania, 3 5-minute rounds, 115 pounds. Yes, Jong, Romania. I looked up the flag. I got it right. That's the one I usually get wrong. This is a fight where I'm doing the breakdown like, oh, no way I'm going to pick her to win. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. She's fighting Ellis Ardelean. Anyhow, let's break it down. This is one of those fights. Someone's getting cut. Whoever loses this fight, they're gone. Ardelean is 9-7, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. She's been submitted twice. 0-2 in the UFC. 2 fight losing streak. Before that, she won 5 straight fights. She, however, has multiple regional championships on her mantle. Correct. There is mantles in Romania, I am sure. Get all our merch in the merch store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Degens. Remember that checkout code. It's probably still working. Used to fight at 125 and 135. 2012 pro MMA debut, an inch of height over Dos Santos. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes, and better grappling stats than Dos Santos. She is one of those plus 0.0 strike differential people. She's been hit as often as she's hit her opponents in the UFC. She's at plus 225. Dos Santos is 14-8, 2 knockouts, 8 submissions. Knocked out once, submitted once. 0-2 in the UFC as well. Like I said, someone's getting cut here. She's lost 2 straight. Before that, she won 3 straight. Her last win, though, was back in May of 2023. She went 2-1 Invicta and was the champion there. That was her last win, actually, was winning the belt. No, yeah, I think that was her last win.
Yeah, she beat Jillian DeCourcy.
Right, yeah. Because she used to be at atomweight. She used to fight down at 105 and up at 125. 105 is probably the better weight class for her, but the UFC does not have it yet. 0-1 in Contender Series. Do you remember who she lost to, Gumby?
Was it Jasmine Jasudavicius?
That would have been horrible if it was, because Dos Santos is too small. I don't think it was. It was Denise Gomes.
Oh,
which is a bad matchup also.
Yeah, also not a good matchup.
Yeah, I can see why you lost. Like I said, you just fight at atomweight, and somehow she fought at flyweight. I think she's probably too small for strawweight as it is. Regional champ, 2015 pro MMA debut, 3 years younger than Ardelean. She's been outstruck in the UFC and the Contender Series by 0.84 strikes per minute. She's at minus 270. Big favorite.
Yeah, I don't like her as a big favorite. No. I think at the end of the day, I am gonna pick her. I think she's just like a little bit better in terms of volume. Ardelean's just so damn wild, and I know she like kind of had her moments against Melly Martinez. And Rayanne dos Santos's losses aren't great either, but they're both splits. I kind of think you probably could have given her the Puja Tomar loss, right? Yeah. And I don't know. Both of them are like volume punchers, not going to do damage. Rayanne Amanda's probably Rayanne dos Santos. Sorry, she doesn't go by Rayanne Amanda anymore, right?
Oh, that's right. She's Rayanne Amanda dos Santos, right?
Yeah, and now the dos Santos has got a last name too because she married her fighter boyfriend. What's his name?
Oh, okay.
The Colton England. She's
Colton England. Haya Amanda dos Santos England.
Yes, correct.
Wow.
And actually, I'm pretty sure her Instagram handle now is Dos Santos England.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the white assassin, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna take her. I think she's got a little bit better of a ground game. I think the volume's a little bit better from her. I think her cardio's a little better because she doesn't like empty the gas tank with these like big wide punches like Ardelean is. You know, if somebody out there is going to try to convince me that like Ardelean's going to land the more meaningful punches and like maybe wobble her once and win around that way, you know, like you probably could do a lot worse than taking her money line. Like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and simp for Rayanne Dos Santos after her last few fights. So I'm going to pick her officially. But yeah, I don't want any part of her at negative 270.
Yeah, neither do I. I will pick her as well. At least she beat someone good. Which is more than really you can say. Yeah,
but I hate that it's at atom weight though, right?
Yeah. At least she's beat someone better than Ardelean has it at the very least. So but if that's all really we're basing it on, and what Gumby said, then yeah, you kind of probably want to stay away from the minus 270 line because you want to be a little more sure of yourself if you're gonna put that much money down. I wouldn't even throw it in a parlay. All right, we're going to 155. Bout MarQuel Mederos from United States of America. Bolaji Oki from Belgium. 3 5-minute rounds, 155. This one actually did some tape study on Gumby. This was a tougher one.
This is a good fight.
It is a good fight. Closer.
I don't know. Maybe you're convincing me this is a good card.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not trying to, but maybe. This one's. I'll break it down, obviously, in a sec. But this one's closer than what the lines state. I think, at least in my eyes. Mederos is 10-1 with 6 knockouts. He's never been finished in a fight. He's 2-0 in the UFC. He's won 8 straight. He's not lost since February 2022. 1-0 contender series, a year younger than Oki. He's got a positive strike differential of 1.14 strikes per minute, plus 155. The Zulu Warrior, Oki, 9-2, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted once. 1-1 in the UFC, 9-1 over his last 10. He got submitted in his last bout. 1-0 on contender series, a regional champ, 4 inches reach over Mederos. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes. He's outstruck his opponents by 3.05 strikes per minute. Better grappling stats as well, which is kind of surprising because Mederos is more of a grappler, minus 170. So like I said, the line should not be this wide, I don't think. I ended up on Oki, better striker, got the reach advantage. He's also a good grappler, despite he got himself caught by Chris Duncan last fight, but he was doing good up to that point until he got himself choked out. But Mederos is a tough out as well. Like I said, this line should be closer than it is. I am leaning to Oki. Not leaning, I'm taking Oki, but it's a close
one. You almost leaned on this network.
No, I know. I remember as it came out of my mouth, I went, oh no, I'm going to get fired. You don't lean on this network?
Yeah, no, you don't lean on this network. I'm going to take Mederos. I think, you know, the big piece for me is the elusivity in here. Mm-hmm. Like Oki is ready to be hit. And he doesn't seem to mind it. Like he'll get right into the pocket. He'll throw. And I think he stays there because he's also, you know, maybe thinking, hey, I could hit a takedown here in a second. If no, that's fine. But I think the way Mederos moves around, he circles really well. He cuts angles really well. I like how straight his punches can be from time to time. And like that alone, and you know, he stuffed a lot of takedowns and did pretty well in that realm. So I think as long as he can keep it on the feet, I mean, like, okay, went toe to toe with who is it? Timothy Kamba, who I arguably thought possibly beat him. That one wound up a split decision, if I'm not mistaken. And like, you know, Kamba then looked halfway decent like a few fights later, but like isn't a world beater. And I think Mederos is maybe even a touch better than him on the feet. So if that's the case, I'll take the straight punches and the lateral movement of MarQuel Mederos.
Yep, all true what you said. And the topologists are well in on Mederos. So
really?
Yeah. So that's why it was making me think even more. Okay, I gotta think even harder about this, but I still ended up with Oki, but very tight one. They 65% Mederos, so they're really in on the dog here. You don't see heck of a lot of it. Seems to be chalk more often than not, but no.
Yeah, interesting.
I like Mederos here, but this should be a good fight. All right. Before we dive into more hopefully good fights, let me talk about Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bet account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And it's time for Gumby's bonus underdog pick up and play. Underdog is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus, hopping game 1. And the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. All right, Gumby, what do you got for us?
I'm going to take the higher than on high-end Dos Santos' significant strikes. They got her listed at 60.5. I think that fight's going to take place almost entirely on the feet. And even if she doesn't win, maybe you don't like the negative 270 money line we just talked about that you can find at sportsbooks, why not head on over to Underdog Fantasy and play the higher than on her significant strikes?
Yep. And when you do head over there, use our code to sign up, MMA SGPN. That way you get to claim a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. So underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. Right, back to the old Apex. We're going up to 180 pounds. His catchweight bout. Andreas Gustafsson from Sweden versus Trevin Giles from the United States of America. We'll tell you about the problem, Trevin Giles. 16-7, 6 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted 3 times. 7-7 in the UFC. He's got staying power. That's one thing you say about him. He's taking this fight on short notice, hence the catchweight here. He's lost 3 straight fights. I was surprised he was still in the UFC. Was this the one you were talking about? Like, this guy's still in the UFC?
I was a little surprised he was still in the UFC, but he isn't even the one I most recently thought about. No.
Because there's a lot of guys with kind of similar names to him. So kind of like the Jared Gordon Gooden type of thing. You're like, okay, you're thinking one of them got cut. Anyhow, he's 0-3 and 2-5 over his last 7. He's not won since March 2023. He has fought at 170, 185, and 205. 2014 Pro MMA debut, an inch of reach, a year younger than Gustafsson. He has outstruck his opponents in the UFC by 0.78 strikes per minute. He's at plus 134. Bane is Gustafsson. He's taking some shrapnel in our Discord, I noticed, though, from at least someone. Wasn't really high in Gustafsson. Yeah, he's 11-2, 8 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He owes his rounds nonetheless. This is his debut. He's won 3 straight and 5 of 6. All of those have ended via TKO. 1-0 contender series. He's fought at 170, 185, an inch taller than Giles, more active than Giles, landing strikes based off of his one fight. Better grappling stats based off that one fight as well. He outstruck his opponent on the contender series by 1.44 strikes per minute, minus 150.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gustafsson here. I think for me, there's multiple things at work that make me really like him, and I actually really like this line too. What'd you say? 165?
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say this is a good line. Minus 150.
Yeah, minus 150. It's down to. Wow, that's crazy. And I like it for multiple reasons. Number one, Gustafsson is a guy who really puts his foot on the gas and brings like a grinding version of his game, right? Like he'll get up against the cage and throwing elbows and wearing you down, and like now he doesn't have to cut weight. Like he was probably 180 when they called to tell him it was going to be a 180 catch weight. And like Giles, I assume, is still going to have to come down weight to even get to 180. So like we're going to get, Gustafsson might have to cut like 3 or 4 pounds, but he's probably in a great place for this week. And then in addition to that, for Gustafsson too, is like Gustafsson's got good takedown defense. And I'm not just saying that from the contender series. I'm saying that from his time that I've seen him fight prior to that. I was already high on him for that reason. And like, so what is Trevin Giles going to shoot takedowns over and over again and then just wind up in the clinch, where Gustafsson does his best work? He's going to get stuffed and then have to fight this guy in the clinch, and that's a nightmare. And if he doesn't, that means he's boxing. So I just think it's like kind of a bad matchup for him in the first place. Then you have the short notice, the extra gas for Gustafsson. I mean, it's just so many things working in the favor of Gustafsson for me.
Yep. I love the line. Giles is mediocre at best, and he's taking this on short notice. So yeah, there's lots to like here on top of, I guess Gumby already said that as well. So,
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised as kind of like a fun prop play. Like, first of all, I just like Gustafsson inside the distance. But like his sub prop is 800. And I know that he doesn't go to submissions first and foremost, but Trevin Giles loves getting tired and putting his head where it doesn't belong.
Does he love it, or does he just do it?
Does. So I think I was at the fight where he was fighting Gerald Meerschaert and was like seemingly winning the fight. And then he was like, but also, what if I shot a 3rd round takedown? And then like immediately was submitted. And if it wasn't him that I'm remembering doing this, I'm going to feel really bad. But I'm almost positive it was Trevin Giles who got submitted by Gerald Meerschaert by just doing the dumbest thing he could think of. And like Gustafsson could grab that guillotine at 8-1, might be worth it.
His name's Gustafsson after all. Yeah, we've seen Gustafsson be good at grappling before. So works for me. So he likes getting tired and putting his head in places they're not supposed to go.
Yeah.
That's two things you should not do.
Like you might find him in like a
dumpster or something.
stairway banister or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he can't get his head out. Like it happens to cats and whatnot sometimes. Happened to my brother's friend before, trying to get a tennis ball when we were playing baseball. That was fun. He got his head stuck between bars at the school and was flipping out because we were laughing at him. Yeah, that was good times.
I did check it. He did get submitted by Gerald Mirchar. It was at Covington versus Lawler in 2019.
And you were there?
Yeah, it was in New Jersey.
Fantastic. As a fan or as a
working I was media then. Yeah.
Oh, look at you, hot shot. All right. We are going down to 155. Jordan Leavitt, Kurt Holobaugh, a couple of Americans. Break it down. Holobaugh, the hurt. Kurt Holobaugh, 21-9 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 10 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 2-5 in the UFC, over 3 stints. Not a lot of guys get 3 kicks in the can, but the hurt did.
He was the first main event on Dana White's Contender Series.
Was he?
Dana White's Contender Series, year 1, episode 1.
Right, and he won, but got disqualified because he took a IV after the fact, or not? I guess after the fact wouldn't matter. Do whatever you want after. All right. He, like I said, loss. I didn't say that actually. Over his last 3, 4-2 over his last 6. That's better. 2-0 in the Ultimate Fighter and champion there. He's got multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch, sportsgamepodcast.com/store. Oh, in like I said, no contest in Dana White Contender Series. So he's done it all. Contender Series, Ultimate Fighter, and 3 times in the UFC. He's fought at 145. Here's another thing. He's one of the last remaining Strikeforce people. 0-1 in Strikeforce. Strikeforce never die. 2011 pro MMA debut. 2 inches of height over Leavitt. Better, more active landing strikes. He's outstruck his opponents in the UFC and Contender Series by 0.35 strikes per minute. He's been on Gumby's podcast multiple times as well, right? Top Turtle?
Many
times. Plus 163. The Monkey King has or has not. I can't remember.
I've had Leavitt on. Yeah, he's a character, man.
He is. He's the Monkey King, Leavitt. 11-3, 2 knockouts, 6 submissions. Been submitted twice. 4-3 in the UFC. Loss over his last 3. 3-2 over his last 5. Got submitted in his last bout. That was back in November 2023. I assume he's been hurt all this time, right?
I would have to imagine.
Yeah.
Actually, did he have a kid? I think he might have had a kid.
Oh, he was pregnant. That's why he wasn't fighting.
Nope. I don't think that's how that works.
Because that would have been amazing. Well, I don't know how it works with Monkey Kings. You never know. Different species, different strokes, different folks. Anyhow, he's been out. I think he pulled out of a fight during that time, so I'm assuming he must have been hurt. He's not won since February 2023. 1-0 Contender Series. Used to fight at 145. An inch of reach over Holobaugh. 9 years younger, because most people are younger than Holobaugh at this point. Better striking stats. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.71 strikes per minute, minus 188. Give me the Monkey King here. Obviously, the layoff is an issue. And there's stats saying that layoffs are an issue. Fighters who have been off a year only win 45%, but I just think he's better than Holobaugh at this point in their careers. I know Holobaugh said he's ready for him, and he's willing to grapple with him and stuff. But I think Leavitt's a better grappler, and just the age is obviously an issue. And he's called the hurt. He's taken a bit of a beating in his career as well. So give me the younger Monkey King here.
I'm gonna go Holobaugh. I think you're right. I think Leavitt in terms of jiu-jitsu might be better, but I don't think he's a better wrestler. I think this fight is going to heavily depend on where Holobaugh wants to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
And if Holobaugh does want to take it to the ground, which first of all I think might be ill-advised because he doesn't have to. Pretty much all he's doing is defending arm bars and sweeps. And as long as he does that, he's going to land the ground and pound. He's been quite good on top. I mean, let's face it, he is loss in the UFC, but he did beat Alexander Hernandez in his last fight.
You changing records again?
Go on MMA decisions for me while I'm jabbing about this. Make sure tell me I'm wrong and tell me
it doesn't prove you're right or not. But there's lots of bad decisions. But
there's lots of bad decisions. So would you pick Jordan Leavitt to beat Alexander Hernandez? I don't think I would, and we just saw Holobaugh probably beat him.
And you didn't.
And that math doesn't always work out. But I think the big piece for me in this one is being able to dictate where the fight goes. Because I do think he's much better striking despite the stats over Jordan Leavitt. I think he's a much better striker, especially in terms of pace and pressure. You're going to see him move forward a lot, which also could kind of upset Leavitt's ability to get a takedown. So I'm going to go Kurt Holobaugh. He's tough to finish. Don't think he's going to get submitted and should look to be in the better positions here.
Yeah, the media were, except 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 10 were in on Holobaugh, but Shawnee Sheehan had it for Hernandez, and I trust his judgment.
I think he tries to get really cute when he tries to judge fights. Yeah, like he's trying to pick the person who landed the one punch versus the guy who ate 83 and being like, "No, that one punch was sick though."
Say an Irish accent, Gumby.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. we only do Italian accents.
It's true, we do. Except last episode we really didn't, even though we were talking about an event in Italy. I don't remember doing a heck of a lot of Italian accents.
We only do it when we have to say Polish names that are hard.
Or French. We do that with French as well. Interesting. One thing about MMA decisions, anytime it's a close fight, whoever didn't win, the fans are going to pick that person to like overwhelmingly. The fan cards will always be on the person that actually lost. So just, but so always just look in the media one to see if they're a little less biased. So anyhow, it doesn't matter what we think, whatever the judges think. So Gumby's got Holobaugh, I got Leavitt, and I've got one more ad read for you before we finish up the episode. Rhythm, RITHMM. CT Rhythm is your home for AI back picks and props. Dominate the NBA Plus, PGA, MLB, and just launched the WNBA. Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial. Check out all the lines for, we don't like Timberwolves anymore, right? I knew that wasn't going to age well.
We were hyping DiVincenzo, and
he did very good. The bench did good.
He went for 21 last night.
Yep. So check out Nickeil Alexander-Walker's lines. There you go, a Canadian boy. Check out his lines. Or the MVP, who's from my birthplace, Hamilton, Ontario, SGA. Check out his projections there. And also check out the amazing deals going on now at Rhythm. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25. And 50% off an annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM. Promo codes SGPN25 or SGPN50. And get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And Circa has the ultimate fantasy football giveaway going on right now. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas. Be treated like VIPs for their stay. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for their entire 12-person league. That's 6 Double King rooms. Hold the draft at a cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit. Limo transportation to and from the airport. A welcome party at Legacy Club for the league. Reservation at the world's largest sports book with $500 beverage credit for the league. A 2-hour open bar package for the league at Overhang Bar. Contest is on now until the end of June. And to enter, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And last but least, we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs. For the true degens in MyBookie money bag, MyBookie accepts customers for a ton of locations, easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Follow all my plays over at MyBookie. Every play I'm going to give you here, make sure you go bet it. $100 on each play because that's the rules. And when you do head over to mybookie.ag, use our promo code MMASGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. So you at least have to deposit $1,100, 11 fights on this card. So there you go. Don't follow Gumby's picks because he's made a couple bad ones so far on this show. At least 2 bad ones, right?
I mean, unless this is the ultimate chalk card again.
Yep. Well, hey. It's weird. We've been doing this so long. I knew like in advance. Oh, he's going to pick Mederos, I bet, and he's going to pick Holobaugh. It's strange that we. Well, I guess it's not strange. It's understandable, but yeah, we tend to know who the other person's going to pick. Let me see.
I usually have your picks at the end. Just
exactly. It's true. Yeah. This year actually is as chalky as every other year. I just looked 67% for the year favorites, which is what it's been since I started tracking 4 years ago or whenever it was. So, but women favorites are 72%. So take what you will with that. It's the women fights that are propping the number up this year at the very least. All right, we are moving on to a flyweight bout. Allan Nascimento, Brazil. Jafel Filho from Brazil as well. Filho is Pastor. He's 16-3, 5 knockouts, 10 submissions. He's been submitted twice, 2-1 in the UFC. He's won 2 straight and 7 of 8. Both of his past 2 wins have come via submission. He's not fought low since March 2024. He's not lost since March 2023. He's got a thing about March, this guy. 1-0 in Contender Series. He has got multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Try the code DEGENS for a discount for you, 20%. Use Fed at 135, 2012 Pro MMA debut, 1-0 in pro grappling, 2 years younger than Nascimento, better grappling stats than Nascimento. He's outstruck his opponents in the UFC by 0.36 strikes per minute. That includes contender series. He's at plus 132. Puro Oso, pure bone. Nascimento, 20-6, 1 knockout, 15 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He owes us some finishes. 2-1 in the UFC. He's won 2 straight and 4 of 7. Not as good there. Submission win in his last bout. He's not fought since January 2023. I won't ask what he's been doing. Do you know what he's been doing? I will ask.
I don't know.
Maybe he's been hanging out with the Monkey King, not
Maybe.
fighting.
Maybe.
Has not lost since October 2021. 0-1 on contender series. Who beat him, Gumby?
Raulian Paiva, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go. Used to fight 135, 2011 Pro MMA debut, an inch height, an inch reach over Filho. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes than Fialo. Not Fialo, he's Filho. There is Fialo. So he's got a positive strike differential of 0.93 strikes per minute. He's minus 155.
My turn?
Yep.
I'm going to go dog again.
Knew it.
I kind of like Filho. For me, first of all, strength of schedule is a lot better. Like, he basically had Muhammad Mokaev beat, right? Like, his knee was dislocated for all we could tell. He was in a great position in that fight. Like, he basically had to lose the fight in order to, he had to give the fight away to lose it, and he did. But, like, hanging in there with Muhammad Mokaev, who's arguably maybe one of the best, I don't know, where do you want to put him in the world? He's definitely one of
5, maybe.
I was going to say one of the top 10 flyweights in the world, and debatably a top 5 flyweight, right? Is Mokaev. And Filho held his own on the ground with him, which is where he's arguably the most dangerous. And Nascimento's good too, but who are we beating here? Like Carlos Hernandez, and then like came up empty against.
Weren't you just telling me how great Carlos Hernandez was a few episodes ago?
No, I told you he was good enough to win that fight, which was turned out to be really wrong.
Bye-bye.
But in addition to that too, like, he couldn't take down Tagir Lambakov. He struggled in that fight too. His takedown defense isn't really all that great either. So like, I think Filho can wind up with some good positions here. Like, this is probably going to be a fight where it gets decided by the grapplers. And I also think Filho in general is just like better at holding positions. Mokaev fight aside, like, he's the one who takes advantage of small opportunities and like moving to your back and sweeping you when you get off balance. And like that seems to be more his thing than Nascimento. So I'll take the dog money here on Filho.
And I'll take Nascimento. Better striker, good grappler as well.
Are either of them good strikers?
I mean, no, but he's better. the man with one knockout and 15 submissions.
You're gonna take him for his striking skills.
Exactly, I'm taking for his striking skills. It could be an interesting fight. We'll see where it actually takes place. All right, the next fight, it's either on the prelims or the main card, depending on where you're looking. We're including.
This is the guy I can't believe was still in the UFC.
That would be Duško Todorović. He's from Serbia, I believe. Correct? Yes, he's Serbian. Zach Reese. I assume you're talking about Todorović here, not Reese.
I was, yeah. He's been knocked out a lot.
Yeah, which may play into our handicapping here. All right, Todorović is Crusty. He's Crusty, Gumby. I don't think that's a good nickname, right? You don't want to be called that. Crusty. I don't think. I thought
his nickname was the Thunder.
I think it was at one point, yeah. But Topology, this nickname's funnier regardless, right?
Crusco sounds like a company that tries to recruit kids out of college to sell like some sort of small kitchen gadget that they don't actually need.
That's very specific. I mean, do you have a story to tell us? I actually knew you when you finished college. I don't remember hearing about that. He's 12-5. 8 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out 4 times. He owes his rounds. Yeah, he's been knocked out 4 times. Got me here. 2 of them just came back to back. He's 3-5 in the UFC. He's lost 2 straight via TKO. He's won 1 of 4 and 2 of 7. So why is he still in the UFC? We ask. Has not won since October 2022. He's a regional champ. 2015 Pro MMA debut. More active landing strikes than Reese. He has a positive strike differential. He hasn't got him very far. Of plus 0.55. He's at plus 205 on the board. Savage. Zach Reese or Zachary, depends on where you look. 8-2, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 2-2 in the UFC. He's won 2 of 4. Loss, win, loss is the pattern there. He got TKO'd in his last fight as well. 1-0 contender series. He's fight at 205, 3-inch height, 3 inches reach. He's got a positive strike differential of 1.49 strikes per minute. Better grappling stats than Todorović, minus 238. Give me Reese here, the Savage. Very good chance he can knock him out. Or if he chooses to grapple, obviously he can beat him on the ground as well. But it'd probably be a good idea to strike with him. He's got the reach, he's got the power. Either or, Reese is going to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Reese too. Man, you know what Duško Todorović's record is? It's really fun to look
It's
at.
crusty, is what it is.
Yeah, he's got a crusty record. And like if you look at the people he's beat, because he's got UFC wins.
Do you know what his last win was? I forgot to ask you that.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yes, Jordan Wright. This is his last
Jordan
win.
Wright.
Anyhow.
Yeah, and it was like as I was going down the list, I was like, he's got a bunch of wins in the UFC, right? Is he bad? And then I went and it was like Jordan Wright. And
yep.
Like the whole list isn't good either. Like
No.
I wish I wrote it all down. But he gets knocked out a ton. Zachary Reese, pretty aggressive, good knockout power, works to the body. Particularly, I like his body shots more than I like his shots to the head too. I think even if he doesn't have like the big one punch KO here on Todorović, which he probably will, being as Todorović's chin is not great anymore. Like I could see him just wearing him down with shots to the body over and over and over again and getting the TKO late that way. So yeah, I'll take Zachary Reese as well.
These are Todorović's wins. Someone did write it down.
Nice.
Apology. Jordan Wright, he ground and pounded him. Maki Patolo,
Coconut bombs.
Another ground and pound win. Daquan Townsend, I barely remember that guy. Ground and pound.
He had good dreads. He was really long dreads. Yeah,
Teddy Ash, who I've never heard of.
That was Contender Series, right?
I watched him. Yep. And then he actually has a good win here, Gumby. Michelle Pereira, 2018. Crazy, right?
The same Michelle Pereira?
I believe so.
Make sure that's the right move, Jope.
Michelle Pereira was 7-0 at the time, though. I was
wild. That's wild.
Yeah, Michelle Pereira's fought a lot of fights since then because he's got he is now 31-13.
Yeah.
7 years ago, he was 7-0. Anyhow, not the greatest resume for Todorović. Yeah, we're both taking Reese. All right, let's give you a recap and then we'll get out of here. Both have Reese. I have Nascimento. He has Filho. He has Holobaugh. I have Leavitt. Both have Gustafsson. He has Mederos. I have Oki. We both have Dos Santos. So basically, we differed on the ones I assume. When I was picking fights, I'm like, I think we're gonna differ on these. And correct, I was correct. All right, you can get more of us if you really want more of us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. It is jumping in there. People, a lot of MMA nerds in there. So join the party. In the comments, YouTube. MMA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much. SGPN MMA on the old Twitter. He's at Gummy Reel and I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there and on Instagram. You can check out my Substack. Enter my free UFC Pick'em contest at moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has the aforementioned Top Turtle MMA podcast. Who is on it this week?
Billy Goff and MarQuel Mederos, who are both on this card.
Billy Ragoff or Billy Goff?
I think he just does Billy Goff now. I think the Ray's gone. Yeah.
Okay. These fighters are always changing their names on me. All right. So check out Top Turtle. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Lots of writing from us there. And of course, all their podcasts are there, our giveaways, our contests, our discount codes, all the good stuff. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Try Degens at checkout for 20% off. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get some bonus content. And when you sign up for Underdog Fantasy and mybookie.ag, MMA SGPN is the special code for you. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. The Problem, Jeff Fox. The Hurt, Gumby Reelan. We'll talk to you then.